it. Let's just try.
So after watching Anna, that Star Wars girl, play Elden Rings, I realized that there's two ways to play it. You see, initially, I said that there is no way she's going to play it for 3 hours. She's going to give up. But I lost that bet because she actually spent more than 1 hour and a half in the character creation screen. Yes, apparently Elden Ring actually does have a character creation skin, which makes me understand that there's people who enjoy the game differently than I do, and maybe the character creation skin is actually very important. Yeah, I mean, like, I thought that there are games where creating a character actually matters, like, for example, Mass Effect or Dragon Age, or if you have a multiplayer game where other people get to see your character like an MMO. But, like, the last game that I would have thought even remotely matters when you create a character is Elden Ring, because you don't get to see the character. It's covered by a helmet and an armor. And I was thinking, like, there is no way anyone cares about the character creation skin in Elden Ring, right? So I skipped over this very important article. But as I watched Anna, I realized, like, no, there are people who actually put a lot of emphasis in it, and I guess it's a big part of the game. The developers do what they were doing when they put on all the sliders there. So, apparently there is a concern from a lady by the name of Ash Parish talking about Elden Ring's character creator fails black players. Okay? Like, black people all over the world have been failed. Like, all black people on Earth have expected that Elden Ring would provide a good character creator for them. Because I knew this. I went into the United States, I went to the ghettos, I went to Zimbabwe, I went to Botswana, and I spoke with many black people, and they were all telling me this with one voice. The voice of Ash Parish, the voice of The Verge, the multi-billion-dollar corporation incorporated the voices of black people, and it transcended through their corporate power at the corporate level. It went into the diversity officer where it vibrated, it shook like with rich vibrations, and then boom, it poured over through the internet like a splodge on my screen. And it failed black players. Why? Because you can't have accurate hairstyles that are stereotypically for black people when you play Elden Ring. Now, here's the fun part. I got a couple of connections in the video gaming industry. Not a lot, but a couple. You know, when you get a channel with 130,000 subscribers, eventually you get people reaching out to you. So take this with a little bit of grain of salt. Again, it's just rumors, but it does seem plausible. I might not know why. So, from what I heard, is that the reason they didn't add the stereotypical black hairstyles is because they said, this is going to be a game that a lot of people are going to be streaming, and we're going to get in a controversy if people start creating white characters with afro puffs. Like, you're going to have the social justice activists whining on The Verge. They'll be like, yeah! You know, like how they do at universities. That's how they teach Americans at universities to formulate arguments. So they're going to do that. So we can avoid that by not having it into the game at all. But what they fail to understand is that the mind of a social justice activist, it opens the third eye, okay? Like, they see reality in its fourth dimension. So reality has like 3 dimensions. The fourth dimension is racism. And they get to see that fourth dimension. So for them, the question isn't, is something racist, but how is something racist? Alright? So in this particular situation, if the game would have had the various hairstyles, then it would be racist if you create a white character with a black hairstyle, right? A cultural appropriation. I mean, the harm you can cause to people. So FromSoft thought that it can defend minorities, like they would be acting like a corporate shield against harm that can come to minorities by saying, no, we will not allow you to do cultural appropriation. We stand like a bulwark defending that little black girl in the ghetto because we are the corporation capable of doing this, and you will not do the cultural appropriation. But what they also did is that they do not allow the same little black girl into the ghetto to play Elden Ring with the appropriate hairstyle. So also harm was done. Now, I am not enlightened enough to judge which one of the harm is worse. Which one is like cultural appropriation of lack of representation. Again, I as a white person, as an Eastern European, I am not enlightened enough. I did not go to the American university so I can understand the real things. I only went to med school and law school, but this is way, way, way above my pay grade. This is just some really deep Marxist ideological stuff that I cannot, like, my brain can't wrap around it. So maybe you guys can tell me in the chat which is worse, cultural appropriation or lack of representation.